Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. We'll kick things off tonight with a look at the forecast. After a few cooler days in the inland Northwest, temperatures are heating up once again. Let's get straight to meteorologist Michelle Boss to find out just how hot we are talking. Michelle?
Yeah, of course, it's all relative. 82 degrees maybe in early May might seem pretty toasty, but after 3 days of 90s, a cool down into the lower 80s felt nice today. But a brief cool down not lasting for long, and the 90s are going to be back tomorrow. Temperatures right now pretty nice out there. 76 degrees in Spokane, in the 50s in Deer Park, 60s in Sandpoint and Coeur d'Alene, and upper 70s from Omak down into Moses Lake, mid 70s in Lewiston. Not a cloud in the sky today, and we're looking at clear skies tonight and a lot more sunshine in the forecast. Of course, that's going to help those temperatures heat up pretty quickly. We should bottom out in the 50s once again overnight, but those overnight low temperatures will also be warming up. Sunshine's going to heat us up pretty quickly tomorrow, and we're looking like lower 90s tomorrow afternoon. Nothing extreme this week, but temperatures will be in the 90s right on through the weekend.
Sounds good, Michelle. Check back in with you later in the broadcast. Happening tomorrow, 4 members of the white nationalist group Patriot Front are expected to stand trial more than a year after their arrest at a pride celebration in Coeur d'Alene City Park. The men were allegedly planning to violently disrupt the event. A total of 31 men were arrested on charges of conspiracy to riot, which is a misdemeanor. So far, 13 of them have appeared in court, all pleading not guilty. The remaining suspects are expected in court over the coming weeks. KREM 2 will be in the courtroom tomorrow, so we'll be sure to keep you updated on what happens. And now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. A deal has been reached to prevent a strike of Spokane's largest ambulance service provider. This is a story that we have been tracking since last week. Teamsters Local 690 says a contract deal with AMR has been reached. They have suspended a strike vote that was scheduled for tonight and instead are going to be voting to approve that contract next Tuesday. The ambulance service workers were asking for an increase in pay for their new round of contracts. And the Bonner County Sheriff's Office asking for the public's help to find a missing woman tonight. So take a look at your screen. 27-year-old Shelby O'Lear was reported missing by her family. She was last seen in contact with them on Friday, the 14th. O'Lear is described as having black hair, hazel eyes, about 5 feet 9 inches tall, and around 225 pounds. If you have any information about where she is, you are asked to call that number on the bottom of your screen to reach the Bonner County Sheriff's Office. And new developments in the case against Brian Kohberger, the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students last year. The Latah County prosecutor says Kohberger must waive his right to a speedy trial if he wants to put proceedings on pause, rather. This comes after the judge in the case put a 37-day stay on proceedings. The trial is set for October 2nd. Under Idaho law, a defendant's trial must begin within 6 months of their arraignment unless they waive their right to a speedy trial. Prosecutors are now asking the judge to reconsider that 37-day pause. Kohberger's next hearing is set for August 2nd. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone. New tonight, the state of Idaho is seeking a new public defender. A panel has been put together to recommend names based on applications for the job. Governor Brad Little is asking for applicants to apply immediately with hopes whoever is chosen will take office by the end of August. So if you are interested, you can find that application on governmentjobs.com. Also accepting applications tonight, the Spokane City Council. District 2 member Lori Kinnear was appointed to council president last night, leaving her spot vacant. The person appointed will serve for 3 months until the current election. If you're interested, you can find the application on our website. That's KREM.com. In Northwest News tonight, we have learned the person seen on video chasing a moose in Idaho with a truck may face charges. The chase happened along the Coeur d'Alene River in North Idaho back in early June. The Idaho Fish and Game has recommended the Shoshone County Prosecutor's Office for the driver of that truck. We are waiting to confirm that suspect's name and if the county prosecutor will officially press charges. And tonight we are learning more about a potential serial killer in Portland. Police have identified a person of interest in the deaths of 4 women. Police have identified the person of interest in the deaths of these women. All went missing and turned up dead in rural areas in the Portland area over the past few months. Tonight, law enforcement agencies have determined links between the deaths. Now, 38-year-old Jesse Calhoun is a person of interest, and he is already in custody on unrelated charges. He has not been charged with murder, and it's not clear how he might be connected to the deaths right now. New York Times bestselling author and daughter of serial killer BTK is weighing in on the news tonight.
He's probably not a first-time offender. You just don't start doing this all of a sudden. Whatever it is that he's done, you got to go back anytime he wasn't in prison, and like there's a lot of work there.
Calhoun does have a criminal history dating back to 2003, and he would have been behind bars, but he was granted clemency in March of 2021 because of his work on inmate crews fighting wildfires. Well, that status has since been revoked, and for now, he is back behind bars. Meanwhile, the Airway Heights Fire Department is looking to make an upgrade. The fire chief says its current station needs more than just a new coat of paint. Over 50 years, he says, it's time for a new building. KREM 2's Janelle Finch tells us why the department is ready to make the move and what support it needs from Airway Heights voters.
The Airway Heights Fire Department says it's outgrown the one and only station it's used for service for the last 55 years. So if you live in Airway Heights, the department wants you to pass a bond that could help them move into and renovate this building behind me. On the outside, you might not see much wrong with the Airway Heights Fire Station. But take a look inside, and Fire Chief Mitch Metzger tells a different story.
It is literally a maintenance nightmare.
This station has served the department since 1968. In that time, the city says it's been renovated 10 times. But Metzger says some things are beyond basic renovations.
This is the only place to do decon for our firefighters, to get the bloodborne pathogens off of them, to get any of the carcinogens off of them. And then they walk right back out into the garage where all the carcinogens are still here from everything that we just had from the last fire.
He says the building isn't big enough to safely house equipment and trucks and doesn't have air conditioning in its sleeping quarters.
Not ideal by any means.
But this could all change if Airway Heights voters pass a bond in the August primary election. The bond would use taxpayer money to help the fire department move into a new station.
The community has told us over and over again that public safety is the most important thing in the community, and so we're now asking them to invest in that public safety.
Metzger says the department is still able to respond when needed from its current station.
Regional Mutual Aid 3, Rush Fire.
But with an extra $9.25 a month from the average Airway Heights homeowner, Metzger says service could better meet the needs of a growing community. The city of Airway Heights is inviting the community to come out, tour the facilities, and ask questions ahead of the August 1st vote. That open house is Wednesday at 6 p.m. In Airway Heights, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
Well, the primary election is coming up on August 1st, just 2 weeks away, and this year voters will elect the next mayor of Spokane. So we want to help you learn more about all 5 candidates running for that seat. So Chief Journalist Amanda Rowley asked each of them to spill the tea on who they are and where they stand on the important issues.
It was really unfortunate that the city's response to the state effort was to sue and litigate rather than sit down at the table and cooperate.
Do you think Camp Hope would have closed by June 9th had this lawsuit not been introduced?
You can catch Brown's answer to that question and much more all this week on The Tea with Amanda Rowley. Meantime, you can catch any of the other candidate interviews you may have missed by visiting the KREM 2 YouTube page. And developing right now, a U.S. soldier is believed to be detained in North Korea. U.S. officials say the man was not in uniform and was on a tour as a civilian when he crossed the line separating North and South Korea. The tour he was on is organized by the United Nations Command and is open to the general public. The Secretary of Defense spoke on the situation earlier today.
What we do know is that one of our service members who was on a tour willfully and without authorization crossed the military demarcation line. We believe that he is in the BRK custody.
And just hours ago, CBS News learned the soldier in question is Private Second Class Travis King, who had served time at the detention facility in South Korea and was released about 1 week ago. Well, another big Powerball drawing is coming up after nobody won the jackpot last night. Now Powerball players are anticipating tomorrow night's big drawing. The jackpot climbed again to an estimated $1 billion after no winning ticket matched all of Monday's numbers. The jackpot would be the 7th highest in U.S. history and the 3rd largest for Powerball. So if you win, you can choose $1 billion paid out in yearly increments or more than $516 million in a one-time lump sum payout before taxes. Good luck to you all out there.